I know we said it last time, but today it's for real. Motor install today. It's happening. Well, it's gonna happen. It has to happen. I'm just about buttoned down on the engine. Everything's pretty much good to go. I had to get more bolts for the alternator. Dipstick tube, got some bolts. We did figure everything else out. So here's the only issue now. I have to jack the motor up to get the flywheel, clutch, transmission bolted up, all that fun stuff. So I don't want to mess up these awesome JPArmor powder coated parts. So we got to figure things out. The load leveler that we have is very tight fit. So we might be taking the elbow off to make a little bit of room. Might take the alternator off. We're gonna wrap the heck out of all that because we definitely don't want to scratch anything and damage it, although it is a very, very sturdy surface, but still, we don't want to risk it. So we're gonna grab the load leveler, put it on here, and see what has to leave to install the motor right. I think we got it figured out. So as you can see, the load leveler chains are only so long. We ran into this problem in pulling the motor out where clearance was really, really tight and it wasn't comfortable, but we can make it work. Here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take off the neck, and that should give us a whole lot more room. I think alternator's gonna be fine. We'll see when we mock everything up, but we're gonna get a whole bunch of rags, tape up all the surface around here. Anything that can get scratched, valve covers, all the new shiny stuff. Let's try to prevent it from scratching as much as we can. And then we're gonna put everything together, lift it up, flywheel, clutch. Logan's on the way, and then we can put the transmission in. We might have to make one more bolt run though, because the plug back here, we're missing it. We're missing. On the front, there's a valve. I'll show you. This right here, that goes in there. On the back, there's a plug. We don't have it. And the only thing left to do really after we get it is prime the oil system, which we have our cool little spray thing. It's all hooked up, so don't forget. We're almost done. Motor will be in the car today, I promise. For the first time in like, I don't know, it's probably been like 3 months, the motor is off of the stand. It's hanging. So now what we have to do, I forgot, pilot bearing. Now I don't have a tool. So pilot bearing is right in here. One of the things you can do, apparently, fill that hole with grease, put a 10 mil socket in, knock it out, and the pressure will actually push the bearing out. We're gonna try it. I've also heard bread too, but that doesn't seem like as good idea as grease. So we're gonna put some grease in there. Apparently a 10 mil is like perfect, and see if we can knock it out. We have a Ford Racing pilot bearing, which is right here. So this is actually gonna be replacing it. This is actually the bearing, I believe, that comes factory in the 2015 Mustangs. So this is gonna go in its place. Logan is here, he's back to help. He's got his 5.4. Now, we've been trying to get the pilot bearing out using tricks from the internet. It hasn't worked. All we've done is packed it really well with grease. So, O'Reilly's has one for rent, a pilot bearing puller. We're gonna go grab that, get that out. The rest should be smooth sailing. Maybe. Okay, we're good now. It's a slide hammer. I need to get all that trouble for 2 hammers. Like, whatever. So the clutch and flywheel, all that's in. We're ready to put the transmission in. It was uneventful, which is a good thing after all we've been through. So now we just got to bolt the transmission to it, and then we're ready to throw it in there and hope it fits. Headers too. So we're almost to the fun and scary part. Yeah, we're good.
Well, maybe we should have the jack in there.
That's such bad timing for whoever that is. Sorry, we don't get the. Is this what it's like riding a motorcycle? That's sideways.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I have no idea what you're saying. Yes.
Go up a little bit.
Okay, give me just a second. Ah, it's that fingertip strength we're working on. Ah. That's really heavy. We're just about ready to get from me for real this time. We've said it a few times, but the headers are on the car. Transmission's bolted up. We are ready to go. We just got to prime the oil system, put in the dipstick tube. We're gonna go ahead and put the wiring harness on there to make life easier. So we are within an hour. We know how that goes. So we're priming the oil system right now. There's a whole bunch of different things that they say work. This is the best way from what we've read. It gets it all the way up to the lifters. That's what we want. So we're gonna pump, this is probably like 4.5 quarts of oil up in the motor. We'll pour the rest in manually, but this should make sure that everything is primed for when we're ready to start. It's time we've been waiting for, guys. The motor's in the air. We are ready to go. We got the engine bay all jacked up, so we are we're ready to put this into that. It really can't be that hard, hopefully. So we just got to remember, like last time we had trouble pulling it out because of the steering rod or whatever you want to call it. We got to remember to thread that in there nice and smooth between the headers. We should be good to go. Oil system's primed, has oil in it. Harness is all up on the car. So I think the only thing next is slide her into the car. How hard can it be? Push in a little bit, maybe. Can we lower it at all? You got room to lower?
Mm-hmm. Gotta make sure we don't pinch this harness too.
The what?
We gotta make sure we don't pinch this harness right here too.
Okay. I just opened the fresh bottle on accident. Cool. Well, we know the steering can hold all of the weight because I tested that the hard way last time. All right, I think we're hitting at the top there. We might need to lower a little bit if we want more level.
Interesting. Stop.
How are we looking?
So it's still loose, but I felt it bind up a bit more.
Yeah.
It's against the motor.
We did it. We did it. It's what time is it? 10. No, it's 9:30 p.m. Motor's in the car. We have it set down in the motor mount bolts. Haven't bolted it down yet, but it's in the car. So now we're gonna take the lift out, motor mount bolts in, unwrap it so we can actually see the product in the car. This is the part we've been waiting for. It's finally here. So what we ended up doing was taking the steering shaft out because this was getting in the way. You see we were hammering the fire out of this thing. We were really getting into it, but it just wasn't coming. So we ended up taking it out. I feel really dumb for not knowing that it's out. We'll just leave it at that. We're gonna go ahead and get the jack off so we can see the thing. I'm really excited to see how it looks. I have been looking forward to doing this since we put the motor in. It's time to unbolt. Yeah, we're unbolting the rags. Undo everything. We're gonna untape the valve covers so we can get a look at those, and then we'll see what it looks like in the car. I think it's gonna look pretty sweet. We're in a bit of a predicament. So it's 10:30 at night right now. I don't want to stop working on the car just because it looks so good and I want to keep going. Yeah, I don't think I really need to say anything other than that. I am so happy to have this thing in the car. The real test comes this week when we find out if it actually runs or not. If it doesn't run, I don't know what we're gonna do because I've poured so much money into this motor. It better run. It has to run. Please run. And I can't say a big enough thank you to Logan and my uncle for coming in clutch and helping me out. Logan, I wouldn't be able to do it without you on this 2-day build. This was rough getting this motor in, but we got it in. We were tenacious and we did it. My Uncle Bob has been behind the camera a lot, behind the scenes on this motor build. He's kind of a wizard when it comes to cars. I'm not quite there yet, so huge shout out to you. Thank you so much. I really wish Price could be here too. He's been here for the entire duration of the car. The entire time we've had the car, he's been here. Every part of the build. He got sick, unfortunately, and couldn't come this time. But hopefully, we're hoping Thursday he will be here for the first drive of the car. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed. He might be here. We're gonna hope. I just cannot get enough of looking at this engine bay. This is so awesome. What a transformation from what we had before. I'll put a picture up on the screen somewhere up there of what it was like before on a stock motor. And now we are here at this, and what an upgrade it is. I have a lot of work left to do, obviously. We have to hook up the air conditioning, power steering, drive shaft, motor mount bolts have to go in there still. Fan, radiator hosing, we gotta plumb the whole thing, coolant in it, gas. We have a lot left to do, but it's not gonna get done tonight because it's 10:30 and I've been at it for a long time. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you like how this turned out just about as much as I do. We're gonna reveal it at a car show this week, which is gonna be super awesome. But until then, y'all take it easy. Remember to always keep it classy, and I will catch y'all very soon.